Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with another Worth a Purchase where I play a game for a short amount of time to see if I would buy it myself. Today, I am taking a look at Death and Request Code Z. This is releasing digitally in the West this week, but this is Physical Paradise and I only care about physical media, and this does have one. It is only on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, which is interesting, and I'll talk about that more as to why later in the video, so stick around for that. But if you want to purchase it anyway, check the links down below in the description and pinned comments. I am playing the PlayStation 5 edition for this video. But first, what is the game? Well, Death and Request Code Z is the third game in the JRPG series, developed by Compile Heart and published by Idea Factory. It is a series known for its horror themes, and this latest game is really going in on the idea. Now, I'm a little bit surprised by this game in a very pleasant way because it's not a standard JRPG. I was surprised to find out that this is in fact a dungeon crawling roguelike-ish that one may describe as a mystery dungeon game, which is one of my favorite genres when done right. I love me some Shiren, I love me some Azure Dreams. I do enjoy this genre when it's got the ingredients nicely together. It's all turn-based, so you make a move, then the enemy will also make a move. Dungeons are randomly generated every time you go into them. It has all the mechanics and the items you'd expect from the genre. It has its own version of a hunger meter, only this time it is a sanity meter. I'm just gonna wait for a game that has both a hunger meter and a sanity meter together. I'd probably have one of those hanging over my head when rocking up to work in the morning. There are 3 difficulty levels. You can adhere to the hardcore nature of the genre, or you can play very casually, keeping everything you have after death. Levels, items and such. Normally I would play with the standard rule set since that's basically what the genre is all about. You take that out and it becomes a rather hollow experience. However, Death and Request Code Z has a spanner in the works that made me turn on the casual difficulty just to experiment with what it has to offer. Since this is a game that rewards death in multiple ways. Since the game is part visual novel with extensive, and I mean very extensive, VN-style story segments, part of the experience is unlocking CGs, and there are a ton of them here, most of them death scenes. Every enemy in the game, as far as I can see so far, if they kill you, they will give you a unique death CG with some pretty gruesome descriptions of your final moments. It is horror PORN, you know what I mean? Some of them are great and I love the idea. I'm not really into that personally, like just the thought of blood makes me feel a bit queasy. I would not be able to be a doctor or a nurse, mainly because I'm a moron, but also the blood thing. However, I do think it's a unique and unusual niche for a video game to go in. I'm sure there are other visual novels out there with this sort of thing with extra tentacles, but on a mainstream retail release it is quite fascinating. And due to the amount of enemies, like there's a ton of them, I found myself grinding death just to see as many as I could. And not only that, but you get rewarded upgrade points for each one you unlock, so it's a weird sort of progression that this game has. You get rewarded for dying. I like it, but I do have 2 issues. 1. The version I am playing on PlayStation 5 is certainly not the complete original artwork. They have conveniently placed visual glitches over the wound areas. I did ask the publisher if this was a stylistic choice and if it's present on every single version of the game, or is it just some versions like the PlayStation release or maybe just the Western release. I did not get a reply. But to be fair, I didn't give them much time to reply before this video. There's also the case of the CG images being zoomed in too much, obviously not wanting to show the full scope of the picture, often missing the most interesting part. It's like it's trying to be edgy, but edgy in a kindergarten. A bit of foam surrounding the sharp edge. It neuters the experience quite a lot. And the second issue isn't really on any kind of censorship, it's actually on the art itself. No offense to the artists, but as cool as they can be, they are a missed opportunity. Like the death CGs, at least the ones I've unlocked, and I want to stress that this could change later on in the game as you unlock more, but they just seem quite random. and seem to have little to do with the monster that kills you. Like the bat thing, for example, the description is that it bites you in the back of your skull. So why is that not drawn? The snake eats you from behind. Why is that not drawn? Show me that. Instead, you get a slightly gruesome death CG that could be from anywhere or anything. So it's a bit disappointing. It feels as though the art was drawn in advance and then the situation written afterwards. As cool as the death art is, it feels like a slightly missed opportunity. But on the whole, I do feel like this is a pretty good game. I'm not super drawn into the story as much as I could be. I don't like sci-fi virtual world stuff. That bores me to tears in visual novels. It gives too much license for convenient random bullshit nonsense. But I've held on so far. I like the gameplay. It's not primetime classic mystery dungeon, but it's good enough. And the death mechanic is cool, as are the CGs, if slightly missing the key to send it over the edge into awesomeness. Now, before I get into the physical details, if you are new here and you enjoy owning physical video games, then do yourself a favor and subscribe. It will be the best thing you do today. Plus, you'll be doing everyone else a favor too, because the bigger this channel is, the more publishers will pay attention to the demand for physical media, which is what the world really needs right now. So do your bit and subscribe. Now, the physical release for this is interesting. If you check the links down below in the description and pinned comment, there is a Western physical release on PlayStation 4 and PS5. It's releasing in North America on May 13th, but Europe will have to wait until June 27th. And not only that, but they also get the cursed USK logo on there too. However, you may be aware that in Japan, there was a Nintendo Switch version, but sadly, that has been cancelled for the Western release. This was a Switch victim alongside Tokyo Clampool and the Neptunia Rebirth trilogy. All were cancelled for a Western Switch release pretty much at the same time. This is supposed to be because of new content guidelines from Nintendo in North America. They just don't want it on their system anymore. Now, just like Jurassic Park, life finds a way. Both Tokyo Clampool and Neptunia Rebirth 1 have or will have English physical Switch releases in Asia, kind of like a loophole. So I do think there may be a chance that this could also happen for Code Z. I suppose it depends on how successful those Asian efforts are, but we will have to see. So far, there is no Switch English physical release. For now, it is only available physically in English on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, with the links down below in the description and pinned comment. There's a standard edition available at retail, and any purchase made via those links supports me in the best way possible, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. However, there is also a limited collector's edition, which comes with a big booby mouse pad for that much needed wrist support, a 32 soundtrack CD, and a 92-page art book, which I'm guessing might be quite graphic, I would hope. And you can get this from Idea Factory's web store, or if you live in Canada specifically, you can get it with the link in the description. Would I buy this myself? Yeah, I think I would. It's probably pricier than it should be, but of all the Compile Heart games I've played, this is the one that's right up my alley. The horror theme and gruesome CGs aren't my normal cup of tea, but I like the fact that it's really different, unusual, risky. It's not perfect, it feels like they chickened out a little bit, but it's interesting as a concept. I love the mystery dungeon style gameplay. It's not primed for the genre, but it'll do for me. And I do recommend it for both fans of the series and of the genre, as long as you can stomach it. Will you be purchasing this, or will you be sacrificing your pet kitten and praying for an English Switch physical release? If you want the Western PS4 and PS5 physicals, please purchase via the links in the description. It's a great way to support me. And of course, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.
これなら